Hi there everyone, Scapegoat Stephen back with another video match report. This time a pickup game from club where my opponent plays Masons and I try out Butchers because basically he wanted to try a different guild, so this isn't part of our league that we've been running recently. This is just a what guild does my opponent want to play that he hasn't had much experience into. He said Butchers, so I brought out Butchers. So apologies if the game's a little bit clunky and slow at times where I'm getting used to trying out Butchers. They're not a guild I'm like hugely familiar with apart from playing against, so I tried to sort of replicate some scenarios and situations that I'd seen talked about online. I did take Vet Boar because my opponent did say, you know, I've got to play against him probably at some point eventually. Might as well do it in a friendly. Okay, so let's get to the match. It is Mason's Honour versus Veteran Boar Butchers. Coming down the Mason side of the pitch, we've got Marbles, Honour, Brick, Granite, oChisel and Flint. Coming down the Butcher's side, we've got Truffles, Meathook, Roast, Cinnamon, Veteran Boar and Shank. Now I did want to try the Veteran Boar Shank missile idea. Unfortunately I had to receive because my opponent chose to. So Flint is going to go for a jog, he's going to take a kick. He re-rolls it because he doesn't like the fact it's going to go basically straight to Truffles, and then unfortunately he doesn't cross the line. He goes like 1 inch to the one and just toes back over, so I give the ball to Roast because, you know, seems like a pretty decent place to hold it. So as you can see, we're just laying out our influence stats at the moment, just trying to figure out where we're going, jockeying for position. As you can see, I've loaded up Shank to try out that idea. So Roast is going to go first. Roast is going to put a get it while it's hot on Veteran Boar, and then he's going to pass to Cinnamon and just go for a little bit of a jog. Just there, staying in cover. Obviously he's got resilience, big belly, all that jazz. So Flint is going to just sprint them where they go, so that he's going to be out of Shank's threat range. And then obviously we're looking for a potential superior strategy second activation later in the turn, perhaps an opportunistic goal shot. Cinnamon's going to jog, she's going to put get set bake on Veteran Boar, and she's going to pass to Shank, and then Shank is going to take the 4-inch dodge from the pass. Again, just up there, although I've taken him out of Veteran Boar's auras from those two bonuses I've put on him, more for me. Marbles is just going to sprint, so we're going to do a couple of delaying activations here, and Meathook is also going to sprint, and she's going to put Tooled Up on Shank. Put herself in there. So as you can see, I'm forming a bit of a death ball on the left there, although it will potentially cause me issues in later turns. My opponent's just checking threat ranges on some of my models. Again, apologies about some of the tokens here. I haven't got the full set of tokens for Butchers at any rate, due to an old token set I have, which I probably need to get around to replacing actually. So Shank, Honour puts superior strategy on himself and goes for a jog. Shank, I decided to go a little bit early, trying to figure out what to do. So Shank is actually going to take the Berserk off Veteran Boar, then he's going to pass to Veteran Boar with the bonus time to get Boar into me, so I've got the abilities up. I'm then going to, after careful sort of options, decide in the end to charge Marbles. Now I know this seems probably a little bit silly. I was going to try and go for Honour, but unfortunately she's like a millimetre or two out, so I'm going to have to go to Marbles and bounce off and dodge in. Could have gone perhaps for Chisel, but I thought again maybe if I just deny by pulling that whole scrum towards the centre again, where then Roast can come in next turn. Along actually with things like Veteran Boar. So in the end we charge Marbles with the reduced cost charge. So we get a momentous 3 up to 4 and a dodge. We then get we dodge into Honour, but then take the Berserk attack into Marbles, do a momentous 3 up to 4 and a dodge, which I believe then takes out Marbles. We then attack Honour, momentous 2 up to 3 and a dodge, and a Berserk for a momentous 2 up to 3 and a dodge. So that puts us at a takeout, having taken out Marbles, and it's 0-1 in favour of the Butchers. Granite's just going to jog. Veteran Boar is going to bonus time it pass to Cinnamon and then dodge for and furiously charge Honor, because he is just about in range with those speed buffs he's got on himself. So Honor does defensive stance because he's a 2-inch melee. He does a momentous 3 on the charge, then his berserk attack just knocks Honor down, basically set up for the start of the next turn. As you can see, I've got a pile of momentum at this stage. My opponent, I don't think has any actually, because he defensive stance that charge. So at the moment, I'm probably going to be winning momentum advantage. In goes Brick. Truffles also jogs. Chisel sprints. Honor then triggers superior strategy. She will then spend her movement to stand up and quick time to engage Shank. Don't think you can get out of attacking, out of being engaged by Boar. Look, we sort of checked this a couple of times, I think, but in the end she just has to take it, I think. Oh no, she's got enough dice, maybe she is out. So I do declare a counter-attack. She gets a momentous push dodge, but then doesn't crucially push herself base to base. I counter-attack, do a momentous 2 up to 3, and dodge out of melee, so that she can't hit me again. He then spends his only point of momentum to heal Honor at the end of the activation. So we end with Masons on 0 momentum and Butchers on 4 going into turn 2. My opponent plays Raw Enthusiasm and puts it on Chisel, and I play Lock Them Down and put it on Brick, because I want to try and neuter Brick as much as possible this turn. So just dropping out our tokens and sorting out where we put our influence. Now, I'll be perfectly honest, I do make a couple of mistakes here during this early activation, so I do go with Vet Boar first, which is actually because I forget a few of the Masons rules, which is really bad because I was a Masons player for quite some time, played them for about half of last year before I went on to Union. So you'd think I'd have remembered my own rules. The team hasn't changed enough that I shouldn't have remembered what was going on. And again, I think this is maybe my second game ever with Veteran Boar, perhaps. I think the last time I played him was when he was, oh no, third game, sorry, but he was top of his power level at the time. So I'm going to attack Brick, take a momentous 3 down to 2 because of top hide. Granite then moves in, my mistake. I take the berserk attack on Brick and knock him down, just because then it disengages him. I then attack Granite and do a momentous 2. He did counter attack and he does a 1 damage gut and string, which is pretty nasty on Boar. I then attack her again, single out, and I legendary, just to get it out there. But it does mean I have a 2-1 captain whose legendary is an aura, so if he drops, I lose the legendary. He does jog back to there though, keeping himself engaged with Granite because he doesn't want to step out of Granite's melee because she'll just knock him down, just to try and spread the aura around as much as possible for my other players. So Honor's going to go, she's going to quick time herself into Veteran Boar and attack. I do declare a counter attack. She only scores a momentous push dodge. She was a bit unfortunate, I think, but I think she's crowded out by Shank at this stage. So I declare a counter attack, and my counter attack does single out Honor. She does a non-momentous 4 damage, a non-momentous 3 damage, and a knockdown on Veteran Boar. So for anyone who's oh no, sorry, there was the push dodge. Anyone who's counting on all of these, that does make Veteran Boar a 1-1 currently because of gut and string and knockdown. So he's not in the most favourable position when you have both Brick and Granite left to go. So I decide what I need to do is get activation advantage and nullify some of his influence, which is going to be difficult because the only output models I currently have available to me are really Shank and Roast to get in there. And I don't think either of them can either kill or even get to Granite. To Brick at this stage. Spoiler alert: I'm going to go for Granite. So Roast is going to take the Berserk from Veteran Boar. He's going to pay the 1 to give him that, and then he is going to furiously charge Granite thanks to the legendary. So I go in, and on the charge we get a momentous 4, which is pretty strong. Nice opener. We then, from the Berserk attack, get a momentous 2. So it's a nice 6 damage, 2 momentum from, 2 attacks. We then attack, only get a momentous 1. We then Berserk and get knocked down to trigger Sturdy. We then attack again, get another momentous 1. We then Berserk for the knockdown to get her properly on the floor. We then stand up 4, and then we score a momentous 3, and then Berserk a momentous 4, and we leave Granite on just 3 health. So she is primed for death, as long as I can kill her before she does anything else. So Brick is going to use momentum to stand up at this stage. He doesn't like Veteran Boar, so he's going to jog to engage Veteran Boar and just momentously knock me down. Because at this stage, Veteran Boar, Brick only had the 1 influence on him. As you can see, Chisel's got a stack on her behind there. So I'm going to go with Shank next. He's going to attack on her, do a momentous 2 damage dodge, and then not be engaging anyone. So he's going to free charge Granite, thanks to the legendary, engaging on her as well, doing the momentous 3, wrapped to the momentous 1, and taking out Granite. Excellent. Activation advantage, invalidates influence, takes me up to 0-3 in favour of the Butchers. I then attack on her, momentous 2, bonus time and attack, momentous 2, bonus time and attack, and momentous 2. As you can see, got a little bit of momentum on my side of the pitch right now. But that seems to be the Butcher's way of it. My opponent gets Chisel to jog through rough ground to engage Boar, and uses her heroic. She does a momentous 2 up to 3, wrapping to the momentous 2 up to 3. Yep, you can see what's going to happen here. She does a follow-up attack, momentous 2 up to 3, wrapping to the momentous 1 up to 2. She then does an attack, does a momentous push dodge, a wrap for the momentous 1 up to 2. So yeah, she's trying not to take me out too quickly. She then does a momentous push dodge, wrapping to the momentous 1 up to 2, and takes out Veteran Boar. So it takes my free charge off the table, which is mostly only going to affect Truffles, I think, at this stage, because the push dodge pulled me out of range of Cinnamon. So that takes it 2-3, still in favour of the Union there, who tell them often I play them, in favour of the Butchers. But we've got a lot of momentum on both sides. So we shall see how the rest of the turn plays out, given that Flint has a reasonable amount of influence on him as well. So Truffles has only got 1 influence, but Truffles has got this thing where they charge for cheaper. So it's going to charge Honour and gets a momentous 2, wrapping to the non-momentous 1 to actually take out Honour. Excellent, look at all that momentum stacking up. So it's 2-5 in favour of the Butchers. So Marbles is going to sprint. Cinnamon's going to go for a jog because she's got the ball, so I don't really want to put her anywhere that is too dangerous. And Meathook sprints just to get a little bit closer to the action, because I didn't think that I could basically essentially use a turn to put out Tooled Up. I wanted to get in there fast, and delete some models. So we're then going to look at Flint. It's going to do, I think they do a where they go on a sprint just to get him round into position for next turn, to potentially go for the ball off Cinnamon. Now, the important thing to note here is that the Masons have 10 momentum and the Butchers have 12, so it is very tight at the moment on who could potentially win. So the importance of the cards is it's really important right now, to get that initiative and potentially get some kills. So my opponent plays the card that gives himself and me a model +2/+2 move, and I play the Force an Enemy model to make a 2-inch dodge card. So I take initiative because I think it would be silly not to, in my opinion. And we will go with, I dodge Chisel, my opponent dodges Cinnamon. I then give the move bonus to Cinnamon. There we go, he can push. I pull Chisel back towards my lines, and he pulls Cinnamon towards Chisel. Thank you, Gangups, that's the word I'm after. We then, yeah, give the move bonus to Cinnamon and the move bonus to Granite, so Granite's going to be a little bit faster when she comes back on the pitch. And as you can see, Veteran Boar's just come on just by the camera at the bottom of the screen right now. I'm a little bit worried about Granite, if I'm honest, because she's quite fast, and actually she can do a lot of setup work for then someone like Honor to just come in and murder one or two models. So I am going to go with Shank first. Again, I want to get a bunch of momentum out there and start causing problems for my opponent. Now, Chisel is a 3-1 with not a huge amount of health, so I'm just going to jog base to base with Chisel. And obviously I've got two friends there as well, helping with the gang ups. And I'm going to do a Momentous 3, followed by Momentous 3, followed by Momentous 2. So obviously that's 8 damage right there. And then a non-Momentous 1000 cuts. So it's 9 damage and lowers her essentially to be a 1-1 defensive. So actually that's going to make it quite easy to kill her or farm her for momentum. Flint is going to jog to 1 inch away from Cinnamon and by an attack. Cinnamon does counter-attack. His bonus timed attack gets a momentous tackle dodge, so he dodges out of his melee, but still in my melee, which was perhaps a mistake, which I think Jake did realise after we played the game. Basically, we did talk about this particular choice of activation was perhaps not a good one with Flint, but again, he's learning. He's doing really well actually at the moment. So my bonus timed, my counterattack is just simply a tackle. He then, where's they go, back into melee, which is expensive, and then attacks gets nothing, and his final attack gets a momentous tackle dodge. So Flint is actually sat with the ball, outside of doing something silly like dropping it behind him, which he didn't want to do because then I could just send someone in to go collect it. Vet Boar is going to basically bin an activation. He's going to charge Flint across that fast ground just to get closer to spread his aura of Berserk. Granite's going to activate. It's going to attack Cinnamon. Cinnamon does declare a counter attack just to try and force my opponent to take the knockdown, which he then does because of that counter attack, being able to potentially take one of us out immediately with the other one. He then does a momentous 1 Broken Earth, followed by a momentous 2, followed by a momentous push. So I'm going to clear conditions on Cinnamon because she's still engaging both Granite and Chisel. So I will buy Berserk from Veteran Boar, attack Chisel. She's now stupidly low on everything. I get a momentous 3 with a Berserk attack, do a momentous 3 wrapping to a momentous 1, which takes out Chisel, 2-7 in favour of the Butchers, and then attack Granite, momentous 3 wrap to the momentous 1. He does counter attack and does a single point of damage. Then the Berserk attack is a momentous 3, again wrapping to a momentous 1. He does bring Granite in with her jog. Again, perhaps not the wisest choice. Jake and I spoke about this because then it just puts her closer to being attacked by people like Roast. But you know, I can understand his logic behind it. It just perhaps was not as well thought out as he thought it was. But again, he's learning. You know, he wanted to see the matchup. So Honor is going to jog. She's going to put a superior strategy on Flint, just so that he can jog away in a second activation. She then also quick times Flint, just to pull him a little bit further away from the action. So I'm going to go with Meathook. Meathook spends to glide to go through Granite's aura, jogs to engage Granite, and just simply does a momentous 2. You know, I've got 3 gang ups. It does take out Granite because Granite was on 2 health, so it puts it to 2-9 in favour of the Butchers. Again, we're just taking out models, which then force them to come back on. Not taking out anyone who's actually already got, who hasn't activated yet. So we haven't invalidated any. Oh, it's a lie. Sorry, Chisel hasn't activated yet. So we've invalidated at least 1 activation in that sense. So Marbles is going to go jog to engage, roast, and buy an attack. This was principally to remove resilience, to help my opponent when making further attacks later in the turn. I do declare a counter attack. He does pop resilience. My counter attack is with bonus time, and I manage a 4 damage, which actually then takes out Marbles because of he was on recovery level. 210 in favour of the Butchers. Ouch. That I see why he was trying to stop me from getting to brick, which made sense. Unfortunately, didn't quite pan out. So Roche is going to jog to engage Brick, who does declare a counter attack, so forces me to take the knockdown. I then get a momentous 3 into Brick, goes down to 2 damage because of tough hide, followed by momentous 2 down to 1, and then I heal Cinnamon by 4. So Brick stands up. He's then going to attack Roast. I do not declare a counter attack because he just then momentously knocks me down. He then attacks me again and does a non-momentous 4. He then knocks me back and follows up, and then Roast Big Belly pushes him back a little bit. There's a lot of jiggery pokery over whose push activates first, but we do get clarity on that from someone. There you go. So you can see we've sort of fiddled it back and forward a little bit, just to make sure it was correct. So Truffles is just going to go to a jog, go engage Brick, and Flint's superior strategy jogs after healing Honor, because again my opponent isn't going to win the momentum race, so might as well get some health. So at this stage my opponent is on 0 momentum and I am on 8, so I'm going to win initiative again. My opponent plays aggressive defence, so poised in my half of the pitch, and I play give me 110% because who doesn't want more influence? So the quickest, easiest route I have at this stage is actually, oddly, to kill Brick, just because he's closest to all of my team, and I can start getting gang ups, crowd out, wraps, everything. So one thing I do have to bear in mind is that he does have Gravity Well. So I'm going to activate Cinnamon. I'm going to jog her. Oh, sorry, she buys Berserk from Boar. I'm going to jog her so she's actually blocked from being pulled in by Gravity Well by Shank. And she's going to attack Brick. She does a momentous 3 down to 2. Berserk attacks momentous 2 down to 1. Followed by an attack momentous 3 down to 2. Spends 2 momentum to stand up Roast. Does Berserk attack and does nothing. Final Berserk attack on 8 dice rolls 5 1s. So yeah, not the greatest. I think it gets a momentous 1, which is cancelled out by his tough hide, so it literally does nothing. Flint is just going to go take a goal, get some points on the board. He attacks. No, sorry, he sprints. Where's they go? Shoots and scores. He's not going to get in tapping range. Barely. I mean, he was close, but not quite. But yeah, he takes the shot, scores the goal, puts it up to 10-6 in favour of the Butchers. Kick the ball out. It goes nowhere, basically. It's not going to be of any use for the last turn of the game. Spoilers. Shank is going to attack Brick, momentous 3 down to 2. Bonus time and attack, momentous 3 down to 2. Bonus time and attack, momentous 3 down to 2. He's sensing a pattern here. And then bonus time attack, momentous 2 down to 1. So he doesn't do as great on the final attack. But you know, I've got the 2 momentum for clearing conditions or healing, and I'm just ploughing damage into Brick, just to make sure that he is set up. So Honor's going to jog into the mix of this horrific 2-inch melee scrum, and she's going to attack Roast, who does counter-attack. Her attack triggers resilience, and my counter-attack actually does a 2 damage single push. So she's out of melee with Roast, I believe, or she might still just be in. Oh yes, she's just out. She quick times herself back in, and does momentous 2, and then gets pushed out by Big Belly. She then attacks Cinnamon, and does a momentous 1. I do declare a counter attack on that, and I dodge out of melee with Honor. She then declares an attack on Shank and scores a momentous push dodge. Should be noted I'm still engaging Honor, I'm just out of her melee. So again, she's losing a lot of dice, at least on some of those earlier attacks, and Big Belly is causing her trouble. So Roasty's going to go. He's going to attack Brick. Momentous 3, down to 2, kills Brick, gets a takeout. 6-12 in favour of the Butchers. So 6-12 in favour of the Butchers in the end. I think my opponent, as I said, he's reasonably new to Guild Ball, but he's actually picking up really well. I think, as I've said in at least on Facebook, actually, he's doing really well into a lot of our better players locally. Like, he's really picked up the Honour play style. He's really enjoying Masons. I love Masons to a certain extent. In some way, they are my first Guild Ball love, so I love that people play them. I perhaps fell out of love with their play style, or some of their Jailier cage styles from some sort of like end of season 3, but Honour is a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing the Butchers. Again, I would have preferred to have kicked because I wanted to try out the Shank missile, but you know what, didn't matter too much. And that was the game. So that is 6-12 in favour of Veteran Boar Butchers.